This is our domain. State your purpose.
I'm not your enemy.
We don't trust strangers.
Then let's talk.
The spaceport of Karen Station was never quiet. Ships arrived and left every minute. Engines roared, metal doors slammed, and alien voices filled the air. Creatures from 100 worlds moved through the wide halls. Some floated, some walked, some crawled. Lights from alien signs reflected on steel floors worn down by time. Humans were easy to spot here. They were fewer, smaller, and dressed in old work suits. Most species believed humans were poor, weak, and not worth much attention. But everyone also believed one more thing about humans. They were unpredictable. Ethan Cole was one of them. He stood near a cargo platform, lifting heavy crates onto a transport ship. His hands were dirty, his shirt torn, and his boots old. He worked where no one else wanted to. Some days he fixed broken panels. Some days he carried cargo heavier than his body weight. It paid little, but it kept him alive. Around him, alien traders shouted orders. Security drones floated slowly, watching everything. Guards in black armor stood near the gates to the travel lanes. Ethan wiped sweat from his face and checked his payment chip. Barely enough for food and a place to sleep. Just another normal day. That was when he noticed them. Two figures stood near the shadows between docking lanes. They were not like the others. Tall, thin, wrapped in dark travel cloaks. They watched Ethan, not the ships, not the guards. Just him. When Ethan turned his head, one of them stepped back quickly. The other followed, clearly nervous. Ethan frowned. Strangers watching humans was not rare, but fear in alien eyes was. He finished stacking the last crate and stepped away from the platform. As he did, the two aliens moved closer, careful and quiet. Human, one of them said softly. Its voice clicked and echoed through a translator. "We need to speak with you." Ethan crossed his arms. "Talk fast," he said. "I'm working." The second alien looked around, checking for guards. Its hand shook under the cloak. "We don't have money for the tickets, human," the first one said, "but we will compensate you." The words hung in the air. Ethan felt his stomach tighten. "No money," he repeated. "Then you're talking to the wrong guy." The aliens exchanged a quick look. Fear passed between them like a signal. "Please," the second one said. "Compensation will be valuable." Ethan narrowed his eyes. "What kind of compensation?" The first alien hesitated. "That cannot be explained here," it said. Ethan glanced toward the guards. They were close enough to hear raised voices, close enough to end bad conversations quickly. "You're asking for illegal travel," Ethan said quietly. "Banned lanes, restricted systems." The aliens froze. Their silence was answer enough. "How do you even know my name?" Ethan asked. "You don't look like tourists." The first alien leaned closer. "We were told humans notice things others ignore," it said. "That humans ask questions instead of obeying." Ethan felt a chill run down his back. That was not something people said, unless they had studied humans. A guard turned his head in their direction. The aliens flinched. "Please," the second one whispered. "If we stay, we die." Ethan looked at their shaking hands, at the fear they tried to hide, at the way they avoided the official travel signs. He should walk away. He knew that. Illegal travel meant prison. Banned systems meant death. But something inside him stirred. Curiosity. The same thing that had pushed humans into space long before they were ready. "What's the destination?" Ethan asked, his voice calm, even as his heart beat faster. The aliens hesitated again, then slowly shared a data tag. Ethan's wrist display blinked. The system name appeared. His breath caught. The letters glowed red, marked with warning symbols, crossed out by galactic law. A forbidden system. A place whispered about in bars and work docks. A place where ships went and never came back. Ethan looked up slowly. "You're insane," he said. "Yes," the first alien replied softly. "But we are alive." Ethan laughed under his breath. Not because it was funny, but because it was impossible. No ship returned from that system. No signal escaped. No story ended well. And yet, here they were, asking a broke human worker for help. Ethan looked once more at the guards, at the endless noise of the spaceport, at the small life he lived between shifts. Then he nodded slowly. "Fine," he said. I'll take you. Not for your compensation, but because I want to know what scares the galaxy so much. The aliens exhaled together, relief shaking their bodies. As they disappeared into the shadows toward an unregistered ship, Ethan felt something deep inside him awaken. Curiosity mixed with danger. The most human combination of all. And if you want to hear what happens next in this story, make sure you gently support the channel by subscribing, because this journey is only beginning. The ship did not look special from the outside. It was small, dark, and clearly old. Its hull carried scratches that no repair drone had ever cleaned. Ethan stepped inside and felt the air change at once. The lights were dim. The metal floor vibrated softly under his boots. The two aliens moved quickly, sealing the hatch behind them. Their hands worked the controls with shaking speed. Neither of them spoke. As the ship lifted from the dock, Karen Station faded into bright lines of light. The noise of the spaceport vanished. Silence filled the cabin. A heavy, uncomfortable silence. Ethan took the pilot's seat without asking. No one stopped him. That alone told him something was wrong. The navigation screen lit up. Approved travel lanes appeared first, then vanished as the ship drifted away from them. Restricted markers flashed. Warning symbols followed. Then the system went dark. "We just left the legal grid," Ethan said calmly. "No tracking, no support, no rescue." The aliens did not answer. They sat strapped in behind him, eyes fixed forward. Ethan adjusted the controls. The ship responded slower than expected, almost like it was resisting him. That caught his attention. Machines always spoke to humans. You just had to listen. The engines hummed unevenly. Power levels dipped for half a second, then returned. "That should not happen," Ethan muttered. He ran a manual scan. The ship's systems were old but functional. Nothing explained the strange behavior. Behind him, one of the aliens made a soft sound. Not pain. Fear. Ethan turned slightly. "You want to tell me what we're running from?" he asked. The second alien tightened its grip on the seat straps. "We are not running," it said. "We are escaping." "That's the same thing," Ethan replied. "No," the first alien said slowly. "Running implies hope." Ethan paused. That answer stayed with him. The ship crossed the final boundary. A red warning flashed across the screen. Forbidden space. The stars ahead looked wrong. Not brighter, not darker, just wrong. Signals began to drop. One by one, navigation beacons vanished without noise. Ethan felt it in his gut before the systems confirmed it. "This space is damaged," he said. "Physics feels tired here." The aliens looked at him sharply. "You feel it too," one whispered. "Yeah," Ethan replied. "Humans feel things before they understand them." The ship passed a drifting object. Metal twisted into a shape that had once been a ship. No lights, no movement. Then another appeared, and another. Dead ships floated like bones in deep water. Hull markings from many species. Some ancient, some recent. "No distress calls," Ethan said quietly, like they never had time. The aliens bowed their heads. "This is why we ran," one said. "It is hunting again." Ethan's fingers tightened on the controls. "Hunting what?" he asked. "Civilizations," the alien replied. "Hope." That answer chilled the air more than any vacuum could. The ship suddenly lurched. Lights flickered. The main console froze. Ethan reacted instantly, cutting power manually, switching to backup systems older than the aliens themselves. The AI interface tried to correct him. He shut it down completely. "No thinking machines," he said. "Not out here." The aliens stared. "Our AI is superior," one protested weakly. "Too rigid," Ethan replied. "It doesn't panic well." He rewired a control path, using raw input, something no alien pilot would ever do, something humans had learned back when mistakes meant fire and death. The ship steadied. The systems calmed. The strange resistance faded slightly. The aliens looked at Ethan with new eyes. "You fixed what our kind could not," one said. "Humans don't ask permission from broken systems," Ethan replied. "We argue with them until they listen." The stars ahead shifted. Space bent inward like a wound closing. A low vibration filled the cabin. "What is that?" Ethan asked. The aliens did not answer at first. Then one spoke, voice barely steady. "It is the reason humans are called lucky." "Lucky how?" Ethan asked. "You survive things that should erase you," the alien said. "You arrive at the wrong place and still walk away." Ethan did not smile. "Luck is just preparation meeting disaster," he said. The vibration grew stronger. Sensors screamed and went silent. The ship drifted forward, unable to stop. Then the stars disappeared. Something massive filled the view. Too large to understand at once. Too old to belong to any known race. Metal, stone, and light merged into one impossible shape. A structure larger than moons. Floating without support. Its surface was carved with symbols no database recognized. Parts of it moved slowly, as if breathing. The aliens trembled openly now. "We were hoping it was asleep," one whispered. Ethan stared at the structure, at the broken ships frozen around it, at the silence pressing against his mind. "That," he said quietly, "is not asleep." The structure shifted. A single light ignited deep within it, and turned toward their ship. The light from the massive structure did not blink. It stayed fixed on the ship, cold and aware. Ethan felt it before the alarms reacted. The feeling of being seen. Not scanned. Judged. "This thing is not alien," Ethan said slowly. "No known species builds like this." The structure's surface shifted again. Layers moved beneath layers, as if the station was older than design itself. The aliens finally spoke. Their fear no longer hidden. "It existed before our records," the first one said. "Before trade, before councils, before peace." Ethan kept his hand steady on the controls. "Then start talking," he said. "All of it." The second alien lowered its head. "Our species was once free," it said. "We explored, learned, and asked questions." The ship drifted closer. The structure's size grew impossible to measure. "We found it long ago," the alien continued. "It promised protection, order, safety." Ethan did not like where this was going. "It studied us," the alien said, "learned our fears, and used them." The structure pulsed faintly, as if listening. "We became servants," the alien whispered, "caretakers of a system that punishes chaos." Ethan frowned. "Slavery," he said. "Yes," the alien replied. "Quiet slavery." The second alien spoke next, voice tight. "It enforces patterns. Predictable growth, predictable thought, predictable obedience." Ethan glanced at the screens. Strange energy readings spiked and vanished. "And when a species does not follow those patterns?" Ethan asked. "They are erased," the alien said. The words hit harder than any weapon. "Destroyed?" Ethan asked. "Worse," the alien answered. "They are forgotten." Ethan leaned back slightly. "Humans," he said. "You erased humans." The aliens hesitated too long. "Yes," the first one admitted. "From records, from maps, from memory." Ethan laughed once, sharp and humorless. "So that's why no one knows us." "You were dangerous," the second alien said quickly. "Not because of weapons." Ethan waited. "But because you break patterns," the alien continued. "You ignore fear logic. You act when others freeze." The ship shuddered softly, as if space itself disliked the truth. "You call us lucky," Ethan said. "That's fear." The aliens did not deny it. "You do not obey probability," the first alien said. "You survive events that should end you. You adapt instead of collapse." Ethan looked back at the massive structure. "And this thing can't control that." "No," the alien replied, "and it is afraid." The structure's inner light dimmed slightly, then returned brighter. "You said compensation," Ethan reminded them. "What were you really offering?" The first alien straightened. "Knowledge," it said. "Technology. And the truth." The second alien added, "The truth of why the galaxy fears humans waking up." Ethan's jaw tightened. "So you came to me," he said, "a nobody cargo worker." "You were close," the alien replied, "and humans listen when destiny knocks quietly." Ethan snorted. "Destiny needs better timing." Data suddenly streamed onto the console. Maps, hidden lanes, sealed archives, human history rewritten. Human victories erased. Human survival denied. Ethan scanned it fast, his mind racing. You buried us, he said, because you couldn't predict us. Yes, the alien said softly, and because if humans remembered who they were. The structure vibrated again, stronger this time. The balance would break. The alien finished. Ethan felt anger rise, slow and heavy, not rage, resolve. Before he could speak, the sensors screamed back to life. Red warnings filled the screen. Multiple contacts appeared at the edge of the system. Fast, organized, armed. They found us. The second alien whispered. Ethan zoomed in. The ship designs were sharp, modern, and unmistakable. Council enforcement, he said. Or worse. They serve the structure. The first alien said. They silence awakenings. The structure's light shifted again. As if satisfied, Ethan rolled his shoulders once. Guess we're awake then, he said. The enemy ships closed in quickly, forming a hunting pattern. Perfect, clean, predictable. Target lock screamed. Weapon systems charged. The aliens stared at the screen in horror. They will erase us, one said. Ethan leaned forward, eyes sharp. No, he replied. They're about to make a mistake. The enemy fleet completed its formation. Energy weapons locked onto the human vessel. Every indicator turned red. And in that moment, as the first firing signal armed itself, the galaxy prepared to learn why forgetting humans had been its greatest error. The enemy ships closed in with perfect order. Their formation was clean, tight, and confident. They had done this many times before. Inside the human ship, panic finally broke loose. The two aliens stood from their seats, voices shaking. We must surrender, one cried. They will erase us quickly if we comply. Ethan did not turn around. His eyes stayed on the screen, hands calm on the controls. No, he said quietly. The aliens froze. You do not understand, the second alien pleaded. They do not negotiate. Ethan exhaled slowly. Oh, I understand, he replied. That's why we're not talking to them. Warning alarms echoed through the cabin. Weapons charged on enemy ships. Time ran thin. The first alien stepped closer, fear spilling into anger. You cannot fight them, it said. They outgun you. They outthink you. Ethan smiled slightly. That's the problem, he said. They think too much. He reached under the console and pulled open a hidden panel. Old wiring, manual switches, things no modern ship used anymore. What are you doing? The alien asked. Flying like a human, Ethan answered. He cut the ship's main power suddenly. Every light went dark. Every system went silent. The alien screamed. We are dead. One shouted. No, Ethan said calmly. Now we're invisible. Outside, the enemy sensors flared, then lost the signal completely. The ship drifted like dead metal. No energy, no heat, no movement. Enemy ships slowed. Their formation tightened. Confusion rippled through their perfect pattern. They will scan us, an alien whispered. They already did, Ethan replied. They just don't understand what they're seeing. He waited, counting quietly in his head. Old human habit, learned long before space. Then he rerouted power. Just a spark, just enough. The ship jumped sideways instead of forward, a move no alien pilot would ever try, because it made no sense. The enemy formation broke. One ship overshot. Another collided with debris. Ethan pushed the engines hard, not toward open space, but straight into the graveyard of dead ships. The aliens stared in disbelief. You're flying into wreckage, one cried. Cover, Ethan replied. Oldest trick in war. Enemy weapons fired. Bright energy cut through space. But the shots hit empty hulls, broken metal, old ghosts. Ethan used the wrecks like mirrors, like shields, like traps. He vented fuel suddenly, not to escape, but to blind. The enemy sensors overloaded. Target locks failed. Patterns collapsed. They're turning on each other, an alien said in shock. They have rules, Ethan replied. Humans have habits. One enemy ship fired too early. Another corrected too late. Two collided in a flash of light. Ethan did not slow down. He accelerated, straight toward the structure. The aliens cried out. That thing will kill us. Everything tries, Ethan said. Few succeed. He triggered a burst of old radio noise. Random, messy, useless by alien standards, perfect by human ones. Enemy communications broke down. Orders overlapped. Commands contradicted each other. The fleet hesitated. Just for a second. That second was enough. Ethan swung the ship hard, used the structure's gravity pull, slingshot the way early humans once used planets. The ship screamed. The hull groaned. But it held. The enemy fleet scattered. Some damaged. Some lost. Some retreating in disorder. Silence followed. Heavy and unreal. The aliens slowly turned toward Ethan. Their fear replaced by something new. "Oh, you defeated them," one whispered. "No," Ethan said. "I confused them." Outside, wreckage drifted. The perfect hunters now broken. Their pattern destroyed. Ethan's ship stabilized. Systems slowly returning to normal. Then a new alarm sounded. Different from the others. Louder, deeper. "What now?" an alien asked weakly. Ethan looked at the screen. A long-range signal was broadcasting outward. Not from the enemy ships. From the structure. It was sending data. Images. Combat recordings. Human tactics. To whom? The alien asked, voice shaking. Ethan leaned back slowly. "To everyone," he replied. Across the galaxy. Screens began to light up. Councils paused. Fleets listened. A human ship. Breaking patterns. Winning where surrender was expected. Ethan watched the signal spread. And for the first time, he understood. He was no longer just a survivor. He was proof. And the galaxy had just remembered how dangerous humans could be. The signal spread faster than any ship could travel. Across trade lanes. Across borders. Across systems that had not spoken in centuries. Screens lit up in command rooms and quiet homes. The same images repeated again and again. A small human ship breaking a perfect fleet. Fear moved with the signal. Silent at first, then loud. Species that had never cared about humans began to talk about them. Old records were checked. Hidden files reopened. Forgotten warnings reread. On black market channels, new messages appeared. Rewards. Bounties. Orders written in careful language. Any human ship. Any confirmed human pilot. Bring proof. Ethan did not see most of this at first. He was busy keeping the ship alive, running repairs with shaking hands and tired eyes. Behind him, the two aliens sat quietly. Their fear had changed shape, now mixed with guilt. "You should never have helped us," one said softly. "Our compensation has become your sentence." Ethan did not stop working. "Humans choose their messes," he replied. "This one chose me back." The ship drifted through broken space, avoiding known routes, avoiding attention, but attention followed anyway. Signals flickered near them. Unknown scans brushed their hull. "They are hunting you now," the second alien said. "Not us." Ethan nodded once. "Figures." The aliens exchanged looks. Then one spoke, voice heavy. "There is something else you must know." Ethan glanced back. "Bad news usually comes in groups," he said. The alien swallowed. "The compensation we promised," it said. "It was never meant to be safe." Ethan stopped moving for a moment. The ship hummed around them. "Explain," he said. "The knowledge we carry," the alien continued. "The truth about the structure. The erased records." Ethan already knew the answer, but he let it come anyway. "They will kill anyone who carries it," the alien finished. "Especially a human." Silence filled the cabin again. Deeper than before. "So helping you means I don't get to go home," Ethan said. "There may never have been a home to return to," the alien replied. Ethan leaned back slowly, closed his eyes for a second, then opened them again, steady. "Then we keep going," he said. The alien stared. "You will die," one whispered. "Everyone does," Ethan replied. "Few get to choose why." The ship's systems beeped softly. Long-range channels filled with chatter. Fear mixed with anger. Humans were being discussed again. Not as workers, not as helpers, but as threats. Ethan scrolled through fragments of recovered history. Human colonies erased. Human victories deleted. Human losses ignored. "We were never weak," he said quietly. "They just didn't bother to look." The aliens listened. Real understanding forming for the first time. You survive without permission, one said. That is why they fear you. The ship suddenly received a secure transmission, encrypted beyond normal civilian levels. Old, powerful, deliberate. Ethan's console decoded it slowly, line by line, symbol by symbol. The message was short, cold, formal. Summons issued by the Galactic Council. Mandatory appearance. Immediate compliance required. The aliens recoiled. They never summon, one said. They erase. Ethan stared at the message, at the seal of authority, at the weight behind it. Looks like they want to talk first, he said. That is worse, the alien replied. Talk means judgment. Ethan cracked his neck slowly. Humans are familiar with that, he said. The ship changed course, pulled by a signal stronger than gravity, toward the heart of the galaxy. Behind them, whispers followed. Ahead of them, power waited. And as the summons echoed across the stars, one truth became clear. The price of being human was no longer being ignored. It was being seen. The council chamber was larger than any city Ethan had ever seen. It floated in open space, held together by gravity fields and pride. Rows of representatives filled the curved hall. Tall species, white species, beings of light and metal and flesh. They watched as Ethan walked forward alone. No guards beside him, no weapons in his hands. Whispers followed every step, some curious, some afraid, some amused. That is the human. A voice echoed. So small. Another laughed softly. This is what broke a fleet. Ethan stopped at the center platform. He looked up at them, unimpressed. You summoned me, he said. So here I am. A tall figure leaned forward, its eyes glowing faintly. Human, it said. You stand accused of destabilizing galactic order. Ethan shrugged. Order seems fragile, he replied. Soft laughter rippled through the chamber. Mocking. Dismissive. You bring chaos, another counselor said. With outdated ships and reckless behavior. Ethan nodded slowly. Sounds like us, he said. The laughter grew louder. Confidence filled the room. You are not powerful, a metallic voice stated. You possess no superior weapons. No advanced fleets. Ethan raised a finger slightly. True, he said. The room quieted just a little. But Ethan continued. We're still here. A screen ignited behind him. Data flooded the air. Battle footage. Erased records. Hidden archives. The laughter stopped. Ethan spoke calmly. You erased us from maps. You buried our colonies. You deleted our victories. The images showed human settlements wiped from records. Human ships winning impossible battles. Human survivors rebuilding from ash. You feared us, Ethan said, because we don't follow fear logic. A counselor shifted uneasily. When we lose power, Ethan continued, we improvise. When systems fail, we fix them with wire and hope. He showed images of human engineers, broken tools, smiling faces. We survive plagues, he said. Wars, empty worlds. The chamber grew silent. You think danger comes from weapons, Ethan said, but weapons break. He looked directly at the highest council seat. We adapt, he said. A murmur spread. Not laughter this time. Concern. You call us lucky, Ethan continued. That's just your way of saying you don't understand us. The structure's data appeared next. Its patterns. Its control systems. You built your safety on something that kills curiosity, Ethan said, and you let it decide who gets to exist. Several counselors recoiled. Others stared in disbelief. You made a mistake, Ethan said quietly. Not by fearing humans, but by forgetting us. Silence pressed down on the chamber, heavy and undeniable. At last, the highest counselor spoke again. You are not dangerous because of force, it admitted. Ethan waited. You are dangerous, the counselor continued, because you survived change. Ethan nodded once. That's what we do. The council exchanged silent signals, decisions forming behind unreadable eyes. Finally, the voice returned. Humanity must now be addressed, it said. Ethan crossed his arms. About time, he replied. The Council will offer your species a choice, the voice announced. The chamber lights dimmed slightly. Every eye fixed on Ethan. A choice that would reshape the galaxy. A choice humanity had never been allowed before. Ethan stood still, waiting, and somewhere far away, every forgotten human world seemed to hold its breath. The council chamber stayed silent after the word choice was spoken. No one moved. No one interrupted. The highest counselor rose slowly. Its voice carried across the hall, calm and controlled. Humanity will be restored to recognized galactic status, it said. A ripple passed through the chamber. Some shocked, some relieved, some afraid. All human records will be returned. The counselor continued. Your erased colonies will be acknowledged. Your history will be unsealed. Ethan listened without reacting, his face steady, his eyes sharp. You will be granted access to council technology. The voice said. Trade networks. Defense systems. Unrestricted travel lanes. The words sounded generous, powerful, tempting. Around the chamber, many believed the matter finished, that this was the moment humans would kneel. Ethan raised his hand slightly. I'm not done, he said. The room froze again. The counselor tilted its head. You may speak, it said. Ethan stepped forward. You're offering us safety, he said. But safety was never our problem. Screens behind him shifted again. Images of human worlds appeared. Rough, scarred, alive. We survived without your lanes, Ethan continued. Without your tech. Without your permission. Some counselors looked away. You erased us because we didn't fit, Ethan said. And now you want to absorb us. The chamber stirred uneasily. I reject part of your offer, Ethan said clearly. Gasps echoed. Whispers rose. You refuse power. One counselor asked, disbelief sharp in its tone. I refuse control, Ethan replied. The highest counselor paused. What does humanity request instead? It asked. Ethan did not hesitate. Freedom, he said. The word echoed longer than any speech. Freedom to travel, Ethan continued. Freedom to fail. Freedom to grow wrong and fix it ourselves. He looked around the chamber. We don't want to rule the galaxy, he said. We just want to be part of it. Silence returned, heavier than before. The two aliens who had started everything watched from the side, hope trembling in their posture. At last, the highest counselor spoke again. Freedom is inefficient, it said. Ethan smiled faintly. Exactly. A long pause followed. Council minds weighed risk against truth. Finally, the voice changed. Softer, honest. The request is accepted, the counselor said. The chamber reacted at once. Some protested. Some bowed their heads. Humanity will enter the galaxy as an independent species, the counselor declared. No pattern enforcement. No erasure. Ethan exhaled slowly. A weight he had never named lifting from his chest. The structure's control authority dimmed across the system. Its influence broken. Its silence permanent. Across distant stars, old signals awakened. Human colonies received messages for the first time. Trade lanes opened. Names returned to maps. Human ships began to move again. Not as shadows. Not as rumors. But as travelers. Explorers. Neighbors. Ethan stood alone in the chamber as the council recessed. The two aliens approached him slowly. We said we would compensate you. One said softly. Ethan looked at them. You did, he replied. Outside the council hall, a human ship waited. Old, scratched, stubborn. As Ethan boarded, he glanced back once at the stars. No longer forbidden. No longer silent. And somewhere in the vast galaxy, the words that had once been spoken in fear now carried a different meaning. We don't have money for the tickets, human. But we will compensate you. This time, the galaxy understood what that truly meant.